Joining me on Terror Machine. This is your monthly love reading for the month of August 2017, and this will be for the sign of Aries. So let me go ahead and give these cards a shuffle to see what energies you'll be working with for the month. Okay, the first card you have in the middle is the Two of Swords in the upright. So if you're single, it's saying that you could be meeting a person this month or met a person in the past that you can't figure out which way to go with them, or you're kind of confused on how you think about the person or where your feelings is sitting with this person. They may introduce themselves to you and you kind of sort of like them, but it's nothing really sparking you to make a decision if that person is the right one for you. Either you're doing this to somebody or somebody's coming at you, that if you're presenting yourself to them, they're kind of is not really making a move or a decision when it comes to your offering of trying to be in a one-on-one relationship with them. They kind of it's kind of tripped up on the way you're trying to present yourself when it comes to trying to be in a relationship, and they're trying to figure out if that's the direction that they want to go, or bring whatever you're offering into their life to try to make a union in a relationship. If you are already coupled up, it's just saying that you as a couple, either your companion is doing this to you or you're doing this to them, that something was presented that could have been it could be a benefit to the relationship, or it could help enhance the relationship, and what happened is they don't know how to take it or how to interpret it or how to make a move to kind of put it into the relationship to see if it can have a benefit. They're sort of sitting on the fence or trying to question what you're trying to bring in, or trying to act confused on what you're trying to do to the relationship for the month. What you have underneath you is the Nine of Swords in the upright. So if you single, what it's saying is that you can't get this, whoever this person you're talking to, or you may be thinking about this person real hard, or this person is thinking about you real hard, that they worry that either you have somebody else in the fold that you may want to talk to, or they not the main person, or they come off very confused at times when you're talking to them, and they kind of might be a person that's anxiety ridden. They kind of wear that on their face. They always in a state of panic, or they have this panicky look about them, that they are very confused. They basically come off very confused when it comes to you presenting something to them in a form of a relationship. Either somebody's coming like this to you, or you're coming like this to somebody, that they see when they present something about a relationship, you start looking very confused, and it kind of has you on pins and needles, or the thought of it has you in pins and needles about somebody wanting to be in a relationship with you. And maybe you're thinking about this person that you are very confused about, and you may like them or don't like them, and then having you up at night constantly thinking about the person or this offer of being in a one-on-one relationship with them. Either somebody is doing this to you or you're doing this to somebody else. If you are already coupled up, what it's saying is that whatever offer you brought um brought to your companion, they is really mulling it over, and it's causing them to kind of have a lot of worry about what is really going on in a relationship. And they may be, once you brought this thing to help the relationship, they're thinking about other stuff other than what you're bringing up. They thinking about the negative, that what is causing this action to be put into the relationship. Either you're doing this or your companion is doing this, up and worried about what was presented to be a benefit, and seeing the opposite, seeing the negative of it, and causing this confliction or this self doubt when it comes to your bond with your companion. What you have in the past is the Eight of Wands and the upright. So, for singles, whoever you met in the past, and maybe it's this person you keep trying to figure out if you want them or don't want them, this person probably came up to you real fast, or they popped up out the blue, or all of a sudden you ran into them, and the pace of how they're talking to you about being in a one-on relationship, you may be feeling it's moving too fast. It's just like they first see you, and then they all of a sudden you're in a relationship, and you don't know how something happened, because the person is trying to push full throttle to be in a relationship with you. Either you did this to somebody in the past, or somebody in the past did this to you, that when it came to the offer of being in a relationship, they decided to say, "Oh, this must be my time to jump on it. Let me go ahead and jump on it while the offer is still good." But when they did that, they rushed up to you so fast that it threw in anxiety or some kind of confusion on what this person real true intentions was about being in a relationship with you. Either somebody did this to you, or you did this to somebody else. If you already coupled up, it's just saying that your relationship in the past was moving real fast, or your bond that you had with your companion was on a steady pace or at a fast pace when it came to you tackling certain things that you could have felt was a confliction in your relationship, or you was bringing too much information or ideas to the table of how you can make the relationship better, and it sent your companion into a state of confusion and anxiety. Either they did this to you with this certain thing that they want to bring into the relationship to make it better, or you did that to them, that they was like, okay, this is all of a sudden coming out the blue. What's going wrong? What's going wrong? What's going wrong? And they got stuck in this pattern, and they're very confused of why all this sudden action to recraft the relationship came in. So once you have crowning you is the star. So if you're single, you may be meeting a person that may have a optimistic attitude, or somebody think this about you, that when they first meet you, your outlook on being in a relationship is always on a positive. You never really express anything to a person negative when it comes to a relationship. Even if you're not in a relationship, you one of those people probably won't talk bad about your ex, and this person or whoever is wanting to find out information about your ex, but you never will salt the game out on it, or you would never, you just take it as, oh, it's the lesson, this is what happened, so I moved on, blah 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 blah. And you never would speak negative about your past relationships, because you are not that type of person to do that. Either somebody you're meeting is like that, or you gonna meet somebody like that, or you're presenting that to somebody that, when it comes to your outlook, no matter what you've been through in a one-on-one relationship, you always can see the positive that comes out the relationship. Either you seen the positive of the lesson that you learned from the relationship, or you seen the positive of what experience you got from the relationship. Either somebody's coming like this to you, or you're coming like this to somebody, and they see that in you. If you're already coupled up, what it's saying is that you or your companion would decide to have no matter what you bring it in to make the relationship better, they're going to try to see the brighter side of the coin. They may be fighting it because they still, it's kind of anxiety ridden, and thinking some of this stuff is personally going against them, but they're going to make the effort to show a more enthusiastic way about these things that you're bringing into the relationship. Either you're going to do this or your companion's going to do this to try to look at whatever's going to be brought in to be a benefit to a relationship. They're going to try to see it as the positive, the way you're bringing it, and trying to put more optimism in this action that could help the relationship be better. What you have going in from the future, you have the Fool in reverse. So if you're single, you could be meeting a person that is, I'm not going to say conservative. They're very systematic. They can be a systematic when it comes to being in a relationship. They just don't let everything hang out. You kind of have to milk it out of them. It's just once you get involved, you have to kind of crack that cookie. I want to say that term, crack the cookie, to see what's more beyond it, because they're putting up this kind of stern look or this stern way of being when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship. Either you're coming off like this to somebody or somebody's coming off like this to you, that they're not being lighthearted when it comes to what they decide to be in a relationship with. They really had a certain kind of format that they want to have, kind of want to follow when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship. Either they see this in you or you see this in another potential person that you may want to be in a relationship with. And maybe that's what's causing you to have this undecisiveness about the person, because the person is not showing no kind of emotion. They're just being 1 2 3 1 2 3, and you probably was used to a person that was more carefree when it came to being in a one-on-one relationship, and it's sending you in a direction of you don't know how to take this person or which way you want to move with this person to be in a one-on-one relationship. Either they doing this to you or you're doing this to them. What it is if you are already coupled up with somebody, what it's saying is you're gonna try to control the kind of free actions that y'all do in the relationship, and letting that be the course of how your relationship go, and you're trying to dial it back down into some kind of more systematics of trying to put in something in the relationship that could be a benefit. It ain't like you're just gonna make a suggestion, hope for the best, and then you let, instead of you working on it, you just let whatever this is run off a course or do whatever it's going to do, and then you figure what you're going to do later on because you let it just get out of right. You just let it went all over the board. Whatever this idea you figure is going to be a benefit of the relationship, you're taking more systematics about putting something beneficial into your relationship. And either your companion is doing this or you're doing this. It's not just going to be one of these things that you're going to introduce it and let it be carefree to the relationship. You're just going to have more reign and control of whatever this beneficial thing is that you're trying to put in the relationship. So let me go ahead and get a couple clarifiers you only need for the Fool. Why is it that you're not taking a carefree attitude, or whoever you're single meeting is not taking a carefree attitude? Okay, you got the Fool in the upright. So what it's saying is, for singles, you may meet a person that tried that before, and when it came to being in a one-on-one relationship, maybe they got out of a relationship before and they let it go all out of control and they just ran with it, and they did not like that feeling. It didn't give them enough security in the relationship, so they kind of dropped that idea of a person not trying to get a one-on-one with a person that's all over the board, or they take relationships as whimsical. So they probably did it before, got turned off, didn't get what they want from it, so they went and played the opposite by being more control of what is being brought into a one-on-one relationship. Either you're doing this to somebody or somebody is doing this to you. They're not into the carefree way of a relationship, and to me, I'm getting the feeling they tried it before and it didn't work out in their favor. If you already coupled up, it's saying the same thing. You try to let things go as they were, you put them up in there and you just let them run their own course, and it didn't show really anything positive to the relationship. It sort of kept the relationship or your bond with your companion the same way. Either your companion is thinking this about something they brought in that was going to be helpful to the relationship, or you thought about an old thing your companion brought in that was going to be a benefit. You tried to bring in new ideas to the relationship that make it better and let them run their own gambit, but it didn't make a difference to the relationship. You took it as, okay, we did it, and by the end of the course, it didn't bring a greater good to the relationship. So you decided to try something else in the relationship, but having more control over it to be a benefit. Either you're doing this to the companion or the companion is doing this to you. Let's get one more of Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So for singles, it was definitely whoever this person you met, they was feeling uncomfortable by a free kind of here, there, anywhere kind of relationship. It made that person feel unbalanced. Either somebody see that in you, of somebody you used to deal with, or you see that in somebody else that they used to deal with, that they want to have more control over the relationship and not just have it go all over the board, because that feeling gave them, basically it didn't bring them no security or no balance or emotional benefit by being in a relationship with a person that was all over the board. You just wasn't thinking about the relationship, or taking that time and just take the relationship sort of to granted, because they wanted to do things all over the board and they always thought that that person was going to be there, but that person became unbalanced and their emotions became unbalanced and they was not getting what they was needing from the relationship. They maybe wanted a companion that would help them maintain some balance, or they wanted a counter equal in a relationship, but they went and got this carefree person and it threw them for a loop. It threw them for a loop, and they just didn't feel secure in that kind of relationship. Either you didn't feel secure in that kind of relationship, or the person you're talking to won't be secure in that free balling kind of relationship. If you're already coupled up, what it's saying is it brought confusion to your bond. Whatever freestyle patterns or ideas that you was bringing into the relationship to help you think that was going to help it be better, all it did was cause some more disruption that you probably didn't want to do. It sent your companion in a confusion, or it sent you into confusion, and you lost kind of the reins and the balance or the fairness in your relationship, or the counter equal in your relationship, by trying to let things just go as they may, or you putting these ideas that help the relationship and just let them run free gambit. So what it is basically you're not doing that again, because it just didn't bring you the balance and stability that you were looking for in the relationship. So whatever you're doing now, you're trying to have more control when you putting new ideas in the relationship to help it be a benefit. Either you're doing this or your companion is doing this. So I hope you like this reading. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Go ahead, leave your comments at the bottom. You can thumb the video up or down, and I'll talk to you later.